It is yet another Friday where you get to join us on Hope TV Newswatch for the latest news updates making headlines across the country. A very good evening to you and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Gloria Musimbi and on the sign language interpretation is Monica Achieng. Newswatch begins. Now, President William Ruto led a nationwide tree planting campaign in Kiambicho Forest in Maragua, Murang'a County. Speaking at Karua Grounds in Maragua, Ruto announced that the exercise will continue for the next 6 months beginning on Monday, adding that the cabinet secretaries will be at the forefront. He further pointed out the tree planting campaign, saying it is a long-term solution that will mitigate the effects of climate change, which include devastating droughts and perennial floods. The National Tree Planting Day was also set aside by the cabinet in honor of those who lost their lives as a result of the floods that have ravaged various parts of the country.
Today is a very important day. We are doing two things that are very important. While we think and remember and commiserate with those who have been victims of floods, today we also do what we must to prevent and to deal with climate change by making sure that we do something about our environment. And that is the reason today in Kenya, we are planting 200 million trees in a single day as part of our plan to plant 15 billion trees in 10 years. We have also said we are not just planting trees today. From Monday, this exercise will continue ministry by ministry on a daily basis for the next 6 months.
Kenyans have been challenged to actively engage in environmental conservation efforts to mitigate the severe impacts of climate change. As the country commemorated the National Tree Planting Day today, Green Africa Foundation, in collaboration with Sitam Karen Church, took part in the exercise by planting 238 seedlings in a bid to restore the environment to combat the challenges posed by climate change. And as Grace Ahati reports, Kenyans have been urged not to limit tree planting activities to designated national holidays, but to incorporate it into their daily routines.
Christ is the Answer Ministries Sitam Karen Church, which is part of the Sitam Churches, in collaboration with the Green Africa Group on Friday, joined the country in commemorating the National Tree Planting Day to honor the lives of Kenyans lost during the ongoing heavy rainy season. The exercise, led by Green Africa Group Chief Steward Dr. Isaac Kalua Green, alongside ICT Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo, saw the planting of 238 trees, each representing the lives of those lost to floods due to the ongoing heavy rainy season in the country. Addressing the press at the Sitam Karen grounds, Dr. Kalua said there were many challenges that were as a consequence of not having enough tree cover in the country, emphasizing that it is imperative for all Kenyans to actively participate in tree planting initiatives to increase forest cover and mitigate environmental risks such as flooding. According to him, there is also need to plant trees across the country as an investment for the future.
Matters of environment are very simple if we know what we have to do, why we have to do it. And our Christianity, we must lead by example. What is it that we are doing that is going to be the change that we need to take? Today is just a reminder that we can sing as we grow trees. We can work as we grow trees, as we glorify God for what He has enabled us to do. Let's take relevant action around where we are, because Kenya is big, but every space is concerned with an individual. What are you doing where you are? It's about personalizing action across the country.
During the event, Senior Pastor J.C. Mwai of Sitam Karen emphasized the importance of churches taking a leading role in environmental conservation, particularly through tree planting initiatives. He highlighted that Sitam Karen, with a land area of 24 acres, has already surpassed the recommended 10% tree cover and is now striving towards achieving a 20% tree cover target.
Remember, as God's people, we also want to set an example about environmental stewardship. All right? And whatever we'll be doing here, please go home and make sure you plant a few trees in your compound, wherever you are. All right? Even if you have a 50 by 100, plant trees.
Meanwhile, as schools prepare to reopen for the second term amid the harsh weather conditions, parents and students have been urged to exercise caution due to the ongoing heavy rains causing havoc in various parts of Kenya.
May be worried even where is the source of school fees coming from with the way things are happening today, but I want to assure you that God is in control. He will not only preserve our children on the road, He'll also protect our children, and He will also give you peace as a parent.
I'd encourage you to plant a tree because it benefits the environment, let me say that, and at the same time service to God and to being a good steward.
Holding a fruit from a tree that was planted by the people that were in this church before I came. And so I'm hoping that as our children grow, they are going to find the fruits of the trees that we have planted. And as they grow, that they will plant more for the people who come after them.
And hearing about 30,000 people have been displaced. We are seeing so many landslides, we are seeing so many things happening. And now is the time we can make a change in that. And so as a group and as a church, Sitam Karen, we endeavor to plant very many trees.
In commemoration of the 238 people that have so far passed on because of the floods. And we are planting and hoping that this will be a right move in helping in situations like this, so that in the future we do not have to have the...
President William Ruto has been on the front line advocating for tree planting, hence giving 2 public holidays dedicated to tree planting. Consequently, through a cabinet memo, Ruto renamed October 10th as Mazingira Day with a vision to plant 15 billion trees by 2032. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Grace Ahati.
Meanwhile, the Cabinet Secretary for Public Service, Moses Kuria, has challenged Kenyans to embrace President William Ruto's tree planting agenda that seeks to have 15 billion trees planted in a decade. Kuria, who led a tree planting exercise at Mulaha Primary School grounds in Siaya County today, said the ongoing climate change can be mitigated if effective methods are taken to restore the nature. He urged the residents to ensure that all spaces in their farms and compounds are used to planting trees, adding that the public must be part of the climate change mitigation processes.
Hii siku ya leo serikali yetu imesema tufanye mambo mawili. Kitu ya kwanza ni kusimama na wale wenzetu ambao wamepoteza wapendwa wao. Na unajua hii janga imetukumba Kenya kuliko hata mataifa mengine. Na kitu ya pili ni kujiuliza, hii maneno yote ya mafuriko, hii shida yote ni kwa nini? Na ndio tumekuja hapa leo katika hii shughuli ya kupanda miti. Manake tusipochunga mazingira itatuchapa kiboko. Na tayari mshaona ile kiboko tumechapwa na mazingira. Hii mafuriko yote ni kwa sababu kutoka wakati wa mzee Moi, wakati wa Wangari Maathai, tumekuwa tukiambiwa hii maneno ya kupanda miti na sisi tunaona kama ni mchezo. Sasa ikafika pahali mazingira ikachoka na sisi, na ndio naona ikituchapa hii kiboko. Na ndio tukasema hata kama muda umeenda kidogo, it is never too late to do the right thing. And that is why we came here today and we are doing this across all 47 counties. Rais ako huko Murang'a, makamu wake ako huko Bomet, mawaziri wote na ma-PS wote tumeenda katika kona tofauti za Kenya hii katika hii shughuli ya kupanda miti. Hii shughuli vile mmeambiwa, tunalenga kupanda miche bilioni 15 katika kipindi cha miaka 10. Target yetu katika taifa ni kupanda ni kukuwa na forest cover 30% kufikia mwaka wa 2032. Kwa hivyo kila county lazima ifikie hiyo kiwango ya 30%. Hapa kaunti ya Siaya mumejaribu sana kwa sababu mko 0.4%. Imagine.
Just a day after the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers, KUCO, vowed to continue with their strike, Health Cabinet Secretary Susan Nakhumicha has asked the striking health workers, including doctors, to return to work as soon as possible, urging doctors' unions to sort out their personal issues with the county governments in order to avoid any standstill situation in hospitals. Nakhumicha made the remarks at Chepkalit Secondary School in West Pokot County during a tree planting exercise where she planted 1,500 tree seedlings.
Our target ilikuwa 25,000 trees, but we have gotten a challenge that the holes that were dug yesterday were washed away by the heavy rains of last night. So what we have managed to plant today is about 15,000, but we have seedlings which we have left behind for the two institutions and the community around to be able to finalize to assist the ministry to meet its target. Na ninashukuru union ya KMPDU ya kwamba tuliweza kusikilizana siku ya Jumatano na wakatangaza within 24 hours madaktari watakuwa wamerudi kazini. So nina uhakika ni wale madaktari labda walikuwa wametravel, wameenda up country, ndio hawajarudi kazini, na wakipewa muda watarudi kazini. But ile agreement ambayo tulisign tulikuwa pamoja na county governments. The chair of COG was there, the chair of health committee was there, the chair of labor and COG was there. So ni mkataba ambayo ilisainiwa by both levels of government, the county governments and the national government. So indeed, there should be no doctors who decide not to go back to work. But if there are specific issues to do with specific counties, then I would ask that then the unions address them with the local leadership, that is the governor of Busia, so that they are able to address the pending issues that could be there.
Elsewhere, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki has warned that those who have encroached on riparian reserves and corridors must vacate immediately or else be forcefully evacuated. Speaking in Saku Marsabit County, where he joined residents in planting trees as part of the National Tree Growing Program, Kindiki instructed all persons living in government forest lands to vacate immediately, including those who have acquired title deeds irregularly and unlawfully. So far, the government has relocated more than 181,000 people who had constructed shelters and were living near the Nairobi River corridors.
Let us take environmental protection seriously. It's not a joke. Hii mambo ya environment sio mchezo. You've seen the kind of dangers that the country is put under because of just carelessness. Na ukiona maji ni mingi, kama unatembea mguu ama uko na bodaboda ama uko kwa gari, ukutane na maji, mkondo wa maji ambayo ni maji ya ghafla, wachana na tabia ya kuhatarisha maisha yako ati ndio ufike nyumbani. Lala hapo kando ya maji hapo mpaka asubuhi, utafika nyumbani keshoye. you will reach the following day. Nimeona tabia zingine za ujinga. Watu wanapoteza tu maisha kiolela. Na wengine huko wanashangilia na kupiga na kucheka na kupiga nduru. Lakini vile vile niliona kuna wananchi wengine wameanza kusaidia wenzao. Kiona mwenzako anatatarisha maisha, unamzuia. Niliona mwingine alienda kaingia kwa maji karibu akufe, lakini akaokolewa, lakini wakati aliokolewa akapigwa makofi kaambiwa usiingie huko tena, kwa sababu ni ujinga, stupidity. Yeah? Stupidity. Wewe unashindana na maji, you cannot defeat the forces of nature. Wanadamu tunapigana na nature kwa maarifa na akili, sio kwa nguvu. Water is dangerous. Water is not a joke. Hata ile maji unaona ni 1 foot, 2 feet. It's not a joke. So muziweke mizaa sana sana wa vijana. I think the young men are still excited. So uko na bodaboda hapo nini? Ukiona bodaboda imesombwa na maji, wachana naye iende. Hapana fuata bodaboda huko alafu wewe na bodaboda mpotee. Si utoke. Tachukua hustler fund sijui loan nyingine hapo alafu utafuta bodaboda nyingine.
And with that, we take a short commercial break. Stay tuned for more news updates.
To get Wewe ni Mungu by Evelyn Wanjiru as your Skiza tune, SMS the word Skiza 88300028 and send to 811. Hope Skiza, spreading the hope.
Aya, amna Go TV stream? It's free.
Go TV stream iko mkononi na ni free. Download Go TV stream app for free. Uenjoy live TV na shows kamia nane. Download and watch later anytime. Anywhere. Go TV stream iko mkononi na ni free. Available to active subscribers. Go TV. Love it.
Do you remember?
Every day is a party. Other people on the station, yo, put your hands up. If you got a question, Jesus is the answer. I don't know another part.
Listen and live.
Mimi Angela nimeshanga sana. Nilifikiri kubarikiwa ni kuwa na mali mingi, kumbe mimi nilijidanganya.
Listen and live.
Revolution. Ooh, ooh. That's the only part I'm good at singing. Ooh, ooh. Do you want a revolution? Ooh, ooh.
Story of hope. Listen and live.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Now moving on swiftly, President William Ruto says his government is implementing new laws and policies that will facilitate growth in IT-enabled services in the country. Speaking during the launch of Call Center International CCI Global Contact Center at Tatu City in Ruiru, Kiambu County, President Ruto said the government is also working with the private sector in enhanced skills training for Kenyan youth to ensure that they are prepared for the jobs of tomorrow. On his part, ICT Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo said the government is working closely with the private sector to enhance the growth of the digital economy in the country.
We're here because of the people of Kenya. It's our view Thank you. As international service providers, the people of Africa, and specifically Kenya, deliver the highest quality outcomes for our customers, and that's why we built this state-of-the-art facility that has got the capacity for 5,000 people, can create huge numbers of jobs, and we create jobs for people quickly, and we create jobs for people who are previously disadvantaged, long-term unemployed, young people, and we provide careers for them. So thank you very much.
The young people that are working on the computers behind us here are among the ones I have been telling Kenyans, tutafinya computer? Eh? Tunafinya computer? Dola unaweka kwa mfuko. This is exactly what it is. And I know there was a Taptengele situation somewhere. This is what it is. You know, many people, as was said here by Governor Wamatangi, many people were wondering, what is this we are talking about, the digital space, and working with all the infrastructure we are trying to put in place. The single most and urgent challenge we have as a nation is millions of young people out of school, out of college, out of university, and they don't have an opportunity to work. And especially when they are hardworking, professional, efficient people of integrity. It weighs very heavily on me when you see thousands, hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of young people who, with talent, with energy, with knowledge, with skills, and yet they lack an opportunity to deploy those skills for the growth of our economy and for making their lives better. These opportunities mean a lot to me and to the people of Kenya. And that is why we must work consistently and persistently until we explore the full potential that this space has to offer. And as we have heard here, the space around BPO is big. And therefore, as Kenya, armed with our human capital, that space we must take advantage. And I will work with all the sectors to make sure that we unlock the potential in that space and we create opportunities for millions.
Now, Kenya will continue to enhance closer and cordial working relationships with the Democratic Republic of Congo to bolster the two countries' relations based on common destiny, values, and shared prosperity. Speaking in Kinshasa after meeting President Felix Tshisekedi of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi reaffirmed Kenya's commitment on enhancing relations in trade and business, security, as well as people-to-people connections. Mudavadi, who is in DRC for a one-day official visit, said in order to propel the growth and partnership of the East African community, member states must endeavor to collaborate and partner on areas of mutual benefit and interest.
We are partners, nous sommes des partenaires. We are countries within the East African community. Nous sommes des pays au sein de la communauté d'Afrique de l'Est, and we want to continue working together very cordially and closely.
Nous voulons continuer à travailler ensemble de manière cordiale et encore beaucoup plus proche.
So we came with that.
Nous sommes venus avec ce message.
Secondly, we wanted to appreciate.
Deuxièmement, nous voulions apprécier
the intervention of the president,
l'intervention du président,
on the Kenya Airways incident,
sur l'incident avec Kenya Airways,
which has been resolved amicably,
ce qui a été résolu de manière amicale,
and we were here to thank him.
Et nous étions venus pour le remercier,
and to also reaffirm that the partnership is bigger, and we want to work even more going into the future.
Et aussi nous voulions réaffirmer que ce partenariat est beaucoup plus grand et nous voulons aller continuer à travailler avec lui dans le futur.
And we also want to assure that we want trade and business between the two countries to grow. We also wanted to reaffirm that Kenya respects the territorial integrity and sovereignty of the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Nous voulions également réaffirmer que le Kenya respecte la souveraineté et l'intégrité territoriale de la République démocratique du Congo.
And to assure the people of DRC
et assurer le peuple congolais
that Kenya will always work with them to ensure that there is peace and harmony in the region of East Africa.
Nous voulons également assurer au peuple congolais que le Kenya travaillera toujours avec lui pour arriver à une paix et une stabilité dans ce pays.
We are also happy that the President communicated with us with a lot of respect.
Nous sommes également contents que le président a communiqué avec nous avec beaucoup de respect.
And we have a good message to take back to President Ruto.
Et nous avons un très bon message à ramener au président Ruto.
We are partners.
Elsewhere, clean cook stove manufacturer and carbon offset project developer Ban Manufacturing has donated 6 ACOA institutional clean cook stoves and dry foods to feed over 2,000 people per day affected by the ongoing floods in the country. The 200-liter institutional cook stove, designed to prepare bulk meals for up to 200 kilograms, will facilitate the preparation of meals for hungry displaced families in Mathare and Mukuru Kwa Ruben areas of Nairobi. Currently, the victims are housed in 4 different camps within the 2 areas of Nairobi, where 6 kitchens operate round the clock to ensure meals are prepared on time. The kitchens have been struggling to cope with the high demand, often leading to long waiting times and inadequate food distribution.
Today we are extremely grateful for the solidarity that ACOA has shown to us for standing with our community in this time. Tumepata this jiko for us as a social justice center to be able to provide meals. And aside during this disaster management, we've been able to provide 3 meals, breakfast, lunch and dinner. Mathare has 6 wards. We have 5 community kitchens. The one ward we don't have a community kitchen is the one area that was not so affected by the floods. So tuna mobilize watu wa hiyo ward kukula kwa the next ward where we are looking at. Each community kitchen ina serve about 500 people at a minimum. So you can imagine how much grateful we are to have these jikos zenye tutaweka kwa every community kitchen. To the team at BAN and to Jikokoa, asanteni sana. Kutoka Mathare tunasema asante na mbarikiwe sana.
In a bid to renovate the cooperative sector and align it with the Constitution, the National Assembly Committee on Trade held a public hearing at Gishugu, Kirinyaga County to seek views of the public who trade on various cooperative societies. Addressing concerns over mismanagement and corruption within cooperative leadership, Area Member of Parliament Robert Gishimu assured that the bill, once implemented, would safeguard the financial interest of farmers. He emphasized the need to amend the existing cooperative law from 1997 to comply with the current constitutional framework.
And this bill seeks to conform with the Constitution of 2010 because the Cooperatives Bill that has been in existence is a Cooperative Bill number 12 of 1997. So one of the functions that is devolved according to the Constitution is the matters cooperatives. And the government had to develop a cooperative policy which preceded this bill. And there have been so many engagements between the national government and the county governments on crafting of this bill. So that is why it may have taken a little bit while. And you know, the cooperative movement in this Kenya is it's a big movement. So a lot of stakeholder engagements was involved. And now, since the bill is now before the parliament, this is the relevant committee that is supposed to go around and seeking views of the public as mandated by the Constitution.
Now making headlines on local sports news, Junior Starlets drew 0-0 with Ethiopia in the first leg of their third round FIFA Under-17 World Cup qualifier played on Friday, May the 10th, 2024 at the Abebe Bekila Stadium in Addis Ababa. During the first half, both teams assessed each other's strengths and weaknesses, resulting in a goalless scoreline at halftime. However, in the second half, the Junior Starlets grew more confident on the field, finding space, connecting passes and solidifying their defense. Despite not securing the 3 points, they managed to maintain the nil score, providing them with an opportunity to reset and change the narrative in the upcoming home leg. And with that, we come to the tail end of our news bulletin tonight. Thank you for tuning in and good night. My name is Gloria Musimbi, and on the sign language interpretation is Monica Achieng. Just before you touch that dial, we have Friday Frenzy with me as your host and DJ Kevin.